Autism schmautism. In my day, self-esteem came from actual performance and a clear understanding of your place in the world. The facts were laid out almost from the get-go. If you wanted to be a model and you were a girl, you had to be tall and thin. If you wanted to play baseball, there was no goddamn wiffle ball or a special, soft, pretend, fakey baseball set up on top of a standing tee. You had to learn how to hit an actual pitched, hard baseball, okay? Which sometimes would hit you in the face if you didn't get out of the way fast enough. Which would break your face. Which would hurt like hell, okay? If you wanted to be in a rock band, you had to learn how to sing and actually play an instrument. While on drugs. Lots of drugs. If you were ugly, then you were ugly, and there was very little hope you were going to change the way you looked unless the baseball that crushed your face rearranged the bones and let you come out the other end looking like George fucking Clooney, okay? Those were the cold, hard facts of life, and your parents were in charge of supplying you with every single one of them, okay? There's a huge boom in autism right now because inattentive mothers and competitive dads want an explanation for why their dumbass kids can't compete academically, so they throw money into the happy laps of shrinks and psychotherapists to get back diagnoses that help explain away the deficiencies of their junior morons. I don't give a shit what these crackerjack whack jobs tell you. Your kid is not autistic. He's just stupid or lazy or both. I know a couple of autistic kids, and let me tell you something they both have in common. They are extremely bright and attentive and, much like Rain Man, have individual talents and abilities that would lay your empty little tyke's video game-addled soul to waste, okay? A truly autistic child may be able to reproduce music he or she hears with perfect pitch, entire classical pieces, the rock opera Tommy, the latest hit Broadway musical, over and over again, or tell you instantly upon hearing what your birthday is, what day it has fallen on every year for the last 4 decades, what the weather was on those days, who the president was at the time, what the #1 song on the radio was just before singing it note for note and word for word. That's an autistic child, not some fat-ass simpleton whose brain has been fried by television and the Xbox and no proper daily attention from his or her supposedly caring parents. Maybe your kid is not autistic. Maybe he's just adult, okay? And thank your lucky stars for that. Face the facts. Autism is up, and who knows why. Parents who wasted time, their brain cells, and a lot of healthy DNA on way too many recreational drugs is this doctor's guess. But I refuse to sit here and believe that half the idiotic offspring I come across, even amongst my own friends and family, are a part of that problem, okay? I recently heard an interview with the brother of acclaimed author Augustin Burroughs, okay? This brother guy invented the gizmo that allows smoke and a small fireworks display to spaz out of electric guitars on stage. He did it while working as a roadie/techie for the band Kiss. Ace Frehley turned to him one day and said, "Hey, can you make smoke and shit fly out of my axe while I'm playing it?" So this guy did so. Not a huge contribution to society, but hey, it is what it is, and he made a good living at it. The reason I bring this up is the interview was about a book this brother had written because when he was about 50 years old, he almost completely self-diagnosed himself as having Asperger's syndrome. In the interview, he said that all of his life people thought he was odd. He would talk to people but had trouble making eye contact with them, and he knew, somehow, somewhere deep down inside, that he was different. Because these people, they wouldn't talk back. They would usually just nod and walk away. Here's the textbook definition of the disease. Asperger's syndrome is one of several autism spectrum disorders, ASD, characterized by difficulty in social interaction and restricted stereotyped interests and activities. People with Asperger's are not usually withdrawn around others. They simply approach others by engaging in a one-sided, long-winded speech about one of their own favorite topics. Where I come from, we don't call a guy like that a victim of Asperger's, okay? We just call him an asshole who won't shut the fuck up. You want to find people who don't think it's strange or boring or mind-numbing to listen to you ramble on and on about what it takes to plug electronic boxes into electro-converters and then into tubeless amplifiers through a remote access special effects board and blap blappity blap until shit shoots out of a guitar played by a guy wearing 14-inch high platform-heeled leather boots and a girdle? Here's the list. 1. The guy in the fucking girdle. 2. You. 3. People with fucking Kiss t-shirts on. That's it. okay? You don't belong in the spectrum of autism disorders. You belong backstage with a shitload of AA batteries and a suitcase full of Roman candles, okay? Long-winded and one-sided. I heard the guy on the radio, and believe me, folks, long-winded ain't the least of it. This guy had his head so far up inside his own ass, he could be interviewed about his memoir and perform his own colonoscopy at the same fucking time. Odd? Yeah. You become a roadie for a rock band that dresses up in superhero costumes and wears 27 pounds of makeup? Where and when is that considered normal? Huh? And you made money at it. Sorry, pal, you don't get to make guitars blow up for a living and then stake a claim as some kind of social retard, okay? Lucky? Yes. Rain Man? No. Not on my fucking planet.